I took a technique that was introduced for monitoring in labour and applied it to monitoring the babe before labour. I did the first antepartum CTG and very quickly learned that yes, you could see the dying baby, which we couldn't know about before, and you could dive in and save them. I wanted to be able to monitor the progression from normality through to abnormality and get the timing of delivery right, and I realized that could best be done by measuring the quality of the patterns rather than by eyeballing them.
If you ask several different people to look at a CTG, you'll get a very different answer from everybody.
What people were doing was looking at the pattern and saying, "Ooh, that looks all right. Oh, that looks a bit iffy," and making essentially life-saving or life-defying decisions based on that. It just wasn't good enough.
Variability is quite subjective. There are some people that when the trace is quite, flat, they say, okay, it's still normal, but it's not like that.
I realized these were very complex patterns that we were looking at. It would be much better to computerize them. And I took that idea to a fetal physiologist called Geoffrey Dawes, who was director of the Nuffield Institute of Medicine. That's why it's called the DawesRedman program.
There's accelerations and variability and decelerations that you can see, but the DawesRedman looks at the short-term variation that you can't see with the eye.
It measures all the attributes of the heartbeat, and it has a library which at the moment runs to about 100,000 of these traces. Features within that library have been grouped into what are called criteria of normality, and whilst the DawesRedman system is running, it looks to see if the criteria have been met.
The thing that DawesRedman takes out is the opinions.
I think it's just having something you can look at in black and white, having numbers, having something you could show a doctor as well.
If I'm thinking of a woman who comes in with, say, terrible pains, and I see a CTG where the criteria have met, that gives me a bit of reassurance that at least at this moment, the baby is not suffering a dramatic loss of blood, for example.
It turned out that one of the best signs of normality was that the baby would wake up and have a period of active, rapid eye movement sleep. The duration of a period of quiet sleep very rarely, if ever, exceeded 60 minutes. So the maximum length of monitoring early in the DawesRedman system was set at 60 minutes. It's reported as DawesRedman criteria met or not met. The advantage of when it's met is that the trace can be stopped at that point.
It's a massive time saver. We used to have people on the CTG in my old trust for about 20, 30, 40 minutes, whereas here with the women and babies that you're happy with, it meets in 10 minutes, and it means that you can use your time more effectively.
The trial we did a long time ago showed that in 1,000 traces we could have saved 200 hours of midwifery time.
We had a case, was 35 weeks pregnant, the patient, and the baby had a really flat CTG that was not meeting the criteria. Based on the CTG, we decided to deliver that baby, and the baby came out alive, but with really poor gases. The scan was normal, growth was normal, but CTG was abnormal. So CTG in that case saved that baby.
It is a direct way of monitoring the health of the baby's brain via looking at its heart rate. It's completely reliable within the territory it's been built to operate. It never fails in that sense. How on earth can you work out any system, the smallest cell or the whole of the universe, until you start measuring? It's the beginning and the end of any objective analysis.